It is the 13th of August in your small, cozy hometown in Equestria. You can't help but feel excited for whatever the new day has in store for you. You go about your morning routine, preparing to leave the sanctuary of your home to face the day when, out of nowhere, a knock comes to your door. Curious, you answer and are greeted by the local mailman, who has come to you with a peculiar package addressed to you, but with no sender's name. When you ask about the sender, the mailman can only shrug and continue on her rounds. The package feels remarkably heavy, and as you tear it open, you are stunned to find a somewhat damaged leather journal and several photographs of an abandoned campsite on a beach. Among these photos is one of your cousin, Morning Mist, who is an archaeologist and explorer of sorts. You had heard of the expedition he began in June, but had not thought much of it, considering you and he didn't talk much. It's not that he's a bad pony, you remind yourself. He's just distant sometimes, a bit obsessive with his work. Alas, without any answers among the photos, you turn to the first page of the journal. 3rd of June. I must admit, now that I'm here, this island is not at all what I had been expecting. Despite the explorers that discovered it painting it as a wondrous and yet frightening place, I felt perfectly at ease here since we made shore. It isn't as wondrous as they claim, and it is by no means frightening. Regardless, we found a suitable place to moor our boat and have set up camp by a freshwater river at the edge of the island's main forest. We are making plans to begin our journey to the old settlement that brought attention to this island in the first place. We know roughly where it is, but we'll undoubtedly need to set aside a lot of time to explore thoroughly. This is unfamiliar territory after all. We must proceed with caution. Tomorrow, I shall lead a team into the woods to begin the search for the old ruins. I personally find it very remarkable that no word of this civilization exists back home. The first entry is shockingly mundane. It is only when you reach the second entry that the mysteries truly begin to present themselves. Fourth of June. The exotic sounds of the wildlife are fascinating to me. Having spent most of my life unearthing the older ruins in the heartlands of Equestria, I've never once set hoof in so foreign and tropical an environment. The first time for everything and all that, I suppose. We worked long and hard through the unflinching midday sun, the heat reasserting the almost tropical nature of this island into our minds. It should come as no surprise that a civilization was able to make this land their home. Plenty of fresh water, fruits, and natural foods aplenty, and, if they were omnivorous or carnivorous even, plenty of wildlife to hunt. What I can't help but wonder is where they disappeared to. As the sun was beginning to reach for the horizon, we briefly stopped in a small clearing to rest and eat a small rationed dinner. As we were preparing to set off again, however, something caught the eye of one of my team. She called us to look at her discovery buried in the soil. It reflected light, almost like finely polished silver. We spent almost 10 minutes digging at the dirt until, to our amazement and astonishment, we unearthed the most peculiar artifact. It was a statuette that strongly resembled a newborn baby pony, its umbilical cord still connected to its belly. However, the figure possessed an unsettling quality. Despite it being no more than an infant, the pony depicted by the figure seemed to be pregnant, its belly distended to match. One of the mares of the team swore endlessly that she thought she could see a small pony's face subtly hinted at in the large belly of the figure. I personally don't see it, but the statue does still need cleaning. We'll be returning to camp in the afternoon tomorrow if we haven't found the ruins yet. This expedition is already wearing down some of the team, and Tulip is complaining of a sudden illness. I feel bad for her. She never had a particularly strong stomach. I wonder if I should help her or let the doctor handle it. I mean, I should keep myself focused on the job at Hoof, but she is a part of my team. I wouldn't want some pony under my charge to get harmed if I'm in a position to stop it.